I want to divorce my wife after discovering she was having an affair with my son's teacher. Everyone keeps telling me I'll die alone if I leave her. Now her affair partner has been fired, and suddenly she wants our marriage back. Hello Reddit I plus here. I never imagined I'd be sitting here asking strangers for advice about my marriage, but the people in my life have me questioning my own sanity. I'm a 39-year-old father of 3. My wife is 41. We've been together since I was barely out of high school. 21 years together, 16 of them married. We built a life from absolutely nothing. Tiny apartment, secondhand furniture, 2 broke kids, convinced love was enough. For a long time it was. We have 3 amazing children, a 13-year-old daughter, a 10-year-old son, and our youngest boy, who just turned 5. Until 4 months ago, I thought we were one of those families that survived everything. I was wrong. The affair wasn't with a coworker. It wasn't with an old boyfriend. It wasn't even with someone she met online. It was with our oldest child's middle school science teacher. A man who came to our house for school fundraisers. A man who sat at our dining table drinking coffee while talking about helping our daughter prepare for high school. A man who looked me in the eye, shook my hand, and called me a good father. Meanwhile, he was sleeping with my wife. I found out completely by accident. My wife had left her smartwatch charging in the kitchen. It kept vibrating. She was upstairs taking a shower, so I looked because I assumed it was our daughter texting. Instead, I saw a preview. I can't stop thinking about yesterday. My stomach dropped. Another message came seconds later. I miss kissing you before class. I honestly thought there had to be some mistake. Maybe someone texted the wrong number. Maybe it was an old conversation. Then more messages arrived, pictures, plans, jokes about how funny it was that I trusted him. They even laughed about me bringing snacks to parent conferences. I still remember one message almost word for word. He has no clue. He's the easiest husband I've ever lied to. That sentence plays in my head every single night. I confronted her immediately. She didn't even deny it. She just sat on the couch and cried. Then she admitted everything. The affair had been going on for almost 11 months. 11 months. Nearly a year of lies, nearly a year of pretending to love me while planning hotel weekends with another man. I packed a bag that same night. The next morning, I contacted the school district. I wasn't trying to ruin anyone's career. But teachers have relationships of trust with families. What happened crossed every professional boundary imaginable. Within weeks, an investigation started. A month later, he was fired. The district never told me every detail, but apparently there were policies about inappropriate relationships with parents and conflicts of interest that he violated. My wife blamed me. She said I destroyed 2 families. I looked her dead in the eyes and asked one question. Who started this? She had no answer. I filed for divorce 2 days later. That's when everyone decided they suddenly became marriage experts. My aunt told me every marriage goes through rough patches. Apparently, sleeping with another man is now considered a rough patch. One of my coworkers actually laughed and said, "Every woman cheats eventually, at least yours came home." Another friend warned me no decent woman would ever date a divorced father with 3 children. Someone else said I should overlook it because my wife paid half the mortgage. As if financial contributions somehow erase betrayal. My favorite was from an older neighbor. He actually said, "You're almost 40. This might be your last chance at having a wife." Imagine telling someone to stay in a marriage because they're getting older. None of that bothered me nearly as much as what my father said. His words hit harder than anything else. When I was 9, my mother cheated on him. He divorced her. She disappeared within a year. She remarried overseas and slowly stopped calling. Birthdays, graduations, holidays. She missed almost all of them. Dad raised me alone. He never remarried. One evening, he sat across from me and quietly said something I'll never forget. "Sometimes I wonder if I made the wrong decision." I stared at him. He continued, "If I had forgiven your mother, maybe you would have grown up with both parents." Then he looked at my kids playing in the backyard. "I don't regret leaving her as a husband. I regret what you lost as a son." That conversation destroyed me. For days, I questioned everything. Was I being selfish? Would my children grow up blaming me? Would they think I broke the family? Then I tried imagining staying. I pictured waking up beside her, celebrating anniversaries, holding her hand. Every image made me physically sick. When she reached for my shoulder one afternoon while discussing the kids' schedules, I instinctively stepped away. Not because I wanted to hurt her, because my body rejected her before my mind even processed it. That's when I realized something. Love wasn't the problem anymore. Respect was gone. Trust was gone. Comfort was gone. Without those, marriage becomes roommates sharing bills. About 6 weeks after I filed for divorce, I had laser eye surgery. The doctor warned me I couldn't lift anything heavy or strain my eyes for several days. Without asking, my wife showed up. She drove me home, cooked dinner, did laundry, vacuumed, organized the medication, set alarms for every eye drop. She even slept on the couch so she'd hear me if I needed help during the night. For a brief moment, I almost believed things could go back to normal. Then I remembered something. During the worst flu I'd ever had 3 years ago, I had begged her to help with the dishes because I couldn't stand without getting dizzy. She said she was tired. I ended up doing them myself. Now suddenly, she was the perfect wife? No. She wasn't doing it because she loved me. She was doing it because she was losing me. There's a difference. After my follow-up appointment, I asked her to sit down. She already knew. I told her I appreciated everything she'd done, but none of it changed my decision. I said I wasn't taking the children away from her. They needed their mother. But I would never again share a bedroom, a home, or a marriage with someone who could lie to my face for almost a year. She cried harder than I'd ever seen. Then for the first time, she stopped making excuses. She admitted the affair wasn't about me. She said our lives had become predictable. Work, kids, bills, laundry, soccer practice. Repeat. She confessed that the excitement made her feel young again. She called it an escape. Then she whispered something that honestly broke my heart. I kept chasing temporary excitement until I destroyed the permanent home I'd spent 20 years building. She told me she'd blocked him, deleted every photo, changed her phone number, started individual therapy. She said I was the only man she'd ever truly loved. I told her those words would have meant everything a year ago. Now they meant nothing. Actions don't disappear because apologies arrive late. She accepted that. For the first time since this nightmare began, we actually had a calm conversation. We agreed to family counseling so we could become better co-parents, not better spouses. That chapter was over. Unfortunately, our biggest problem wasn't us anymore. It was the kids. Rumors spread fast, especially when a teacher gets fired. Our oldest heard whispers at school before we even told her. Someone's parent had apparently posted about it in a neighborhood Facebook group. By the time she came home, she already knew enough to piece everything together. She looked at her mother and asked one question. "Did you choose him over Dad?" My wife burst into tears. Our daughter walked upstairs without waiting for an answer. Things got worse after that. She refused to let her mother drive her anywhere. She stopped speaking to her unless absolutely necessary. When my wife cooked dinner, our daughter quietly made herself cereal instead. My son noticed. Then he started refusing her meals too. Even our youngest copied his older siblings without fully understanding why. One night, I found my wife sitting alone at the kitchen table holding 3 untouched dinner plates. She was crying so hard she couldn't breathe. That was the first time I genuinely felt sorry for her. Not because I wanted my marriage back, because watching your own children reject you has to be one of the most painful consequences imaginable. Despite everything, I don't want them to hate her forever. She failed as my wife. She betrayed me in ways I don't think I'll ever recover from. But before all of this, she never missed a recital, never forgot a birthday, never skipped a parent conference. She loved those children with everything she had. One catastrophic decision erased their trust almost overnight. I've told the kids repeatedly that they don't have to forgive her today or tomorrow, but I hope one day they'll separate the mother who tucked them into bed every night from the woman who made a devastating choice that shattered our family. As for me, the divorce is moving forward. People still tell me I'll end up alone. Maybe they're right. Maybe I will. But I'd rather eat dinner by myself every night than spend another minute wondering whether the person across the table is secretly laughing at me with someone else. Loneliness isn't the thing that scares me anymore. Living a lie does.